Hello and welcome to Always in Escrow with Serena Appel and Colby Burchin. Where is Colby? Oh,
Hi,
here you
partner.
are. Well, this is a very special episode because we are together here filming live.
Imagine that, a year and a half, and now we're we're together.
Cheers to
Cheers.
a special episode. And now I am so thrilled to introduce a full service visionary duo. Sean Koski and Brian Kelly can plan any event, including weddings, celebrity affairs, product launches, private events, celebrity galas, fundraisers, on site or remotely from their sunny office in Delray Beach, Florida. Ticket to Events is a one stop solution for unparalleled event planning. While they excel in events, they also ace product launches, media visibility, and influencer connections. Sean and Brian, welcome to the show.
Awesome. Hey guys, thanks for
Hi, thank you
having
for
us.
having us.
For that amazing introduction.
So, Serena, we met because we have a mutual friend, Crystal, put us in contact with these guys, and she said, Colby, if you have to have people on the show, these two are the ones to have. So, really excited that you guys are on the show.
Well, I have heard about you two for a long time on my own time. I have been keeping an eye, yes, because you have been throwing unbelievable events, and I've noticed. So we're going to get right into it because we want to hear all about those juicy details.
Cool. We're excited. Yeah.
How has your role and involvement with Ticket to Events evolved over time, especially the context of changing landscape of the event industry?
I think when we first started, we kind of, were fresh out of the gate. We just graduated college and we really wanted to work for ourselves. So we kind of took any job at any given time. We weren't necessarily caterers. We were taking catering jobs. We took a funeral job. Like we did everything that we could, to get noticed, to get our feet wet, to get in the ground. But since then, we've realized that we actually can create our own events and produce our own events. So we don't just necessarily rely on, people hiring us. We kind of also come up with a concept and an idea and, go full force with that. So I think we've evolved in that kind of way, full circle, right?
Yeah, kind of learning that we can make our own party if there's no party to plan for someone else.
Yes. Well, that definitely resonates with me. And because I always love a chance and an opportunity to throw a party. And okay, so you have some very, very visible, highly visible events that you've planned in the recent years. What has inspired the concept behind Jill Zarin's luxury luncheon, and how has it evolved over the years?
I think what inspired Jill Zarin's luxury luncheon was first off just a normal ladies' lunch. These luncheons, a lot of women have always been going to through the years, and the people planning them were people like ourselves, right? So once you kind of add in the more fun, flashy things that would come along with being someone like Jill Zarin or any other celebrity, brand partnerships and things of that nature, we kind of were able to bring it into what it is now, or what it's grown to be today. It wasn't always supposed to be a competitor of Super Saturday, which it just turned out to be because of the dates. It wasn't supposed to be an inspiration for BravoCon, but it happened to be because the guest list was so wonderful, and all of the different women who came from all over the world in different franchises really helped inspire BravoCon or any of these other things. It wasn't supposed to be any of that, but it just continued to grow as the three of us continue to grow throughout our careers and with social media and all of those types of things too.
Yeah. And it also started where it was just 50, girls.
75.
Or 75. And then, it came to sometimes we've had 800 people in and out. So it's pretty wild. And
the charity angle changed,
Yeah.
throughout the years. With Bobby passing, that really was a big deal and is still a big deal, and that kind of helped us change into different types of ways that we're raising funds for thyroid cancer research and just in general. So there's a lot of different ways that it's changed because, of course, like any person, this event has changed over the past 10 or 11 years.
Really incredible what you've created.
It's a team effort.
It is a team effort, and it takes lots and lots of preparation.
It must. It definitely must. So, with such a star studded guest list, can you share any memorable interactions or unexpected moments from the previous events?
Oh my God.
Personally, I would say meeting people for the first time, not knowing who they are, it's the easiest thing for us to do. Flub on that. For instance, when I met Taylor Dane, I said,
Yeah.
Taylor Dane, the Tell It to My Heart, and continued to sing it to her. And she was like, yeah, that's me. I'm like, oh, cool. Okay.
Like Sean's
know?
literally singing the song to her.
But
like that's a
it's-
pretty memorable moment.
It keeps us grounded in the sense where we can treat everybody the same exact way as a party guest versus
Yeah.
someone being bigger than the other person.
Yeah, I agree.
Normally, embarrassment is what happens though with any of these interactions.
No, I think everyone is just like everybody else, and I think we don't treat them differently. I think now since we've been doing it for 11 years, like if we're messaging someone on Instagram, like, hey, if Jill or our press team doesn't invite them, we're inviting them, and they're way more receptive now. So it's kind of crazy. Maybe 10 years ago, they would be like, talk to my publicist. Now they're like, oh, of course we know this event. Like, we'd love to come. And Jill's like, how did you get this person here? Like,
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, the joint effort, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I said, it's a team effort, and we just love doing this event.
With a surprise and delight element to it as well.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's always a surprise at the
That's
event.
true.
Multiple surprises.
Jill Zarin's catchline is surprise.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so you work with various partners to create a very successful luncheon. Can you share an example of an innovative partnership that has significantly contributed to the event's success?
I mean, I think every brand that we curate.
Hello, these.
Yes, I know. Well, obviously that's the number one. But every brand we bring in, changes and elevates the event. But I think the biggest one and the most exciting one we did was last year. It was called Bond Society, and it's
Permanent jewelry.
permanent gold jewelry, 18 karat gold that they permanently.
Well, they soldered onto your
soldered
arm,
on.
but this was an idea that we had with regard to, I guess, the wristband. Everybody has to have a wristband at our party because otherwise we need to have security escort them out. So the easiest way to identify them is usually a nasty highlighter color or something like that, which ruins outfits. But we came up with this idea too. Wouldn't it be not only luxurious if everyone had an 18 karat gold bracelet, but if that was also the VIP wristband to enter the party? So Bond Society and partnerships like that who accept our creative ideas are really what help it be like innovative in the party experience itself.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that takes it to new levels.
That's like over the top.
Ridiculous, yes.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse because now we're like, well, how do we top it next year?
Yeah.
So our minds are always, thinking, but it was pretty cool.
So the event features a wide array of activations and experiences. Which one do you think guests will be most excited about this year?
I think interactive food. Last year we incorporated things like we had a whole food truck
We
area.
had 5 food trucks. So
I'm so curious, do they eat?
Yes, of course. It's a day where people are going to sometimes 4 parties a day, and this is the one that they want to spend most of their time at. So yeah, of course they're going to eat. With the Taste of the Hamptons, we were able to feature a bunch of the local food trucks or local restaurants that turned into food trucks for the day.
Yeah.
So we had a pizza making station and a
gelato,
gelato area, a taco bar.
Huge taco bar, make like 15 different tacos. I think at first we were nervous. We're like, are people going to think like, it's not necessarily a restaurant catering passing down? And they said it was probably the best year to date just because of, that aspect. So we're now realizing the food aspect is going to be, we want to top that and kind of keep it the same. So we're really excited about like honing in on that.
Yeah.
That
and
element.
I think that's what guests are really always most excited about.
People don't eat at parties, but I think they want to.
They want to eat.
And
Who
I think
doesn't?
that people overlook that. They think like, no one's going to eat. Why waste that? But people are starving, for 4 hours in the hot sun and drinking all day and shopping. They want some food.
I love it. Well, okay, so let's talk about how the event has supported many different charitable efforts, and one of which is the Bobby Zarin Memorial Trust. Can you elaborate on how the luncheon has contributed to the trust and its impact on thyroid cancer awareness?
Yeah, so the luncheon itself has a fundraising component through CharityBuzz.com. CharityBuzz.com is a wonderful platform. If you're not familiar with it, you've got to check it out. Basically, we put onto CharityBuzz.com opportunity for non-invited people to attend the event. All of the proceeds from that go to the Bobby Zarin Trust Memorial Fund, and whatever, in addition to that, there are opportunities for people to make donations along the way to the Bobby Zarin Memorial Trust Fund. But in itself, that fund disperses
Two different types of organizations that helped Bobby. One of them was called ITOG, which is
International Thyroid
Thyroid.
Oncology Group, and Sloan Kettering. I mean,
Sloan
all of the
Kettering, yeah.
places where
really kind of helped him actually
live a couple more years
longer than he was expected. And Jill was very, blessed to have them. And some of the CEOs would come to the party and they would, make sure that people knew about the organizations and the hospitals and what they do, besides just also, helping Bobby. So it's pretty awesome. And it's nice that we still are able to help keep his memory alive, just in general, of the party.
Right.
And
because this was something that he looked forward to every year.
Yeah.
And it's, overall, it's something that we're happy to continue to help with thyroid cancer research in general. Yeah. Because there's not a lot out there, and, as much as we can help, we'd like to.
So empowering. It's really significant. That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what sets Jill Zarin's luncheon apart from other events? How do you continually strive to make it a unique experience for all the attendees?
We're allowed to talk about it. That's what sets it apart. We didn't have to sign any documents saying we wouldn't talk about the party we're throwing.
We plan it.
Yeah, and we plan it, that too. I mean, basically, because it's a public affair and it is actually, what sets it apart, it's probably one of the only red carpet events in the Hamptons. We equate that season to like Wellington polo season. So it's a little bit more daytime, not a lot of flashy stuff going on, except for just the mere fact that you're there. So Jill Zarin's Luxury Luncheon gets to amp up that flash factor and really set itself apart without having to be a nighttime gala where there's tables and, so much programming. It's really just a fun free-for-all.
Well, basically, it's also not a typical luncheon. There's no sit-down lunch. It's really a round-robin kind of brand-heavy activation style. So it's a 4-hour flow, and everybody that's there is either on the red carpet being interviewed by, press, or seeing, the 80-plus activations that we set up throughout the event. And like the food component is like, what we said, either food trucks or there's a restaurant that sets up their own mini restaurant, so we kind of took that spin on the typical luncheon, where the other luncheons that are happening are like you sit down for 2 hours, there's a speech, which is still great, but we kind of
different
changed it. And, I think we see now a lot of people are doing that, especially around the Hamptons. We've had people hire us to say, hey, we want to recreate what you do, but do it for us. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and exactly. And also keep the charity component too,
Yeah, which is always important.
I feel like that's the biggest part.
Yes.
The charity is like, people forget that. And I love that you guys are still bringing that every year. And I love that she's still doing it. That's amazing.
The interactive components is really incredible. They definitely have carried over into other events that I've noticed. So
funny story, right before COVID, we created an event called 50 Shades of Blogging. And so this woman would always come to Jill's event and this event. Yeah, we had these pillows made for every host. So embarrassing.
Oh my gosh, that's epic. Oh my goodness.
It was kind of a smaller version, and she's a writer.
We had our top favorite bloggers hosting this event because blogging was a thing. And, for us as event planners, community-driven things or just people being in the same room makes a party. So we wanted to get all of the bloggers together to be like, hey, you do this and we do this. Let's actually talk and actually have a real time with each other versus just always competing with each other, because we're in a world where we don't like to compete with anyone because there's so much available for everybody.
Yeah. So this writer that would come and feature our events,
she would write up Jill Zarin's Luxury Luncheon. She was like, I would love for you guys to create something similar to me in the Hamptons. And we came up with the idea of Hamptons Interactive Influencer Brunch. Yeah. It's gone through a bunch of name changes, but yeah, we've done that for 4 years in a row. And that's been a really fun event too. We do a lot of different events, but obviously the Jill Zarin Luxury Luncheon is one that's the most precedence over our time in the media because there's so many different faces and so many pickups.
But there's so much that you have really had your hand in. Okay, so organizing high profile events comes with many different challenges. Can you share a behind the scenes story or challenge that you've overcome in the process?
I think the biggest challenge, which is also a plus too, is that we're
Working
married
with your
and we work
partner.
with a partner. I think that's really the biggest. Everything else, I feel like we're good at handling.
Like burning the bacon in the morning on the day of an event is
And we're
something that's
screaming at
going
each other,
it's
but then
going
we
to
gotta
stay
work.
with you all day until you taste a caterer's bacon later on in the afternoon that's perfectly cooked and you say, "This is how it was supposed to be cooked," and then you just laugh about it and continue on with your day. I mean, there's nothing better than Chef David Burke's bacon hanging from a clothespin, walking around a party, tasting it and remembering, "Oh, Brian, this is how you're supposed to cook bacon if you've forgotten." There's a lot of funny things that go on with us, but I would say
Yeah.
mostly challenges that we overcome are together
Yeah.
with each other.
I think when challenges happen during work, like it makes us work better. I work better under pressure, and when someone's screaming at me, I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. But when it happens with us, I think we try to make sure it doesn't bleed into work, but people don't know us. I think just not letting people know that we're maybe fighting, but we're smiling to them, but we're really like arguing is what is probably the biggest challenge. But at the same time, I think when
And
you're
also
working with your partner,
sharing happy news or anything
Yeah, exactly.
personal is a really big challenge for us
Yeah.
because for I would say the first 6 years of our career, a lot of people, on repeats would not understand that we were together until finally, 3 years into working with each other, like, oh wait, you guys are together, and that's something that we always had to not remove from ourselves when we're working, but not let overshadow because it is always so interesting to be for us at such a young age too. Oh, you brought your boyfriend to work? That's real great. You know what I mean? So it's been a challenge in itself, and I can't believe now at this point we're actually married, and on our way to a honeymoon soon. So it's a little bit crazy.
Okay, so the event features a diverse range of brands. How do you choose and collaborate with brands to create a curated experience for the guests?
Think about the event first. What is the event going to need, and how can a brand take over the missing link that we have? If it's cups, can it be a cup sponsor, or do we just need cups? And that's kind of like I guess the idea. That's this as simple as it can be, right? But then it gets as grandiose as, can we have gold-plated wristbands to start the event? What can we do? So
Yeah, and we kind of look from past years what people liked. I mean, as weird as it sounds, everybody loves everything, but sometimes when we have brands like, oh, I wish there was that shopping bag that was there last year. I wish you had that technology company there. So instead of bringing that exact same company back, we'll look to see if there's something similar, something new that would wow them. And we always, like you said, love to wow the guests in the beginning. But we'll say our gift bag is known as like the best gift bag. I think even some people who've gone to the Grammys and stuff like that. So we make sure that's a big component to the event.
Oh my
God.
gosh.
Like people fight over this gift bag. Like it's crazy. But I
Wow.
would too, I guess.
Well, okay, so the gift bag is always highly anticipated. Can you give us a sneak peek into what have been some of the exclusive and must-have products that have been featured in the past?
well, this year, just like bridesmaids, we're going to give out dogs to every person who comes.
Like this
No.
one. No, I wish.
No, the gift bag itself, even the bag itself,
Yeah, the bag is
a
either
valuable piece of property, right?
like a suitcase or an actual duffel bag. So it's like
Or
of
quilted
its
koala
value.
bag. I mean, we've had all the
Yeah.
best kind of things there. But the most exciting thing that we love to see in the gift bag is the way it's delivered to the guest who's getting it. So last year we had a ring for gift bag idea, and we had a big bell, and when you would ring it, a hand would come out and give you your gift bag.
Wow.
Exactly.
And that was their second gift bag.
And that was their second, because when they walk in, they got a gift bag for shopping, and gifting when they walk around to meet the brands and stuff like that. It truly is just a day unlike any other for not only gifting suite, but, food and meeting friends and also press interviews. There's so much to do there that, if you're invited, it's really awesome. I can't wait one day to be invited myself.
Well, you certainly deliver a wow factor.
Yeah, he's had 1 year IV as well,
Oh
giving
my
out gift
gosh.
bags.
Yes, 1 year I had an IV hooked up from the IV doc in my arm while dispersing gift bags to people just to make sure it got to the right person. I mean, we go the extra distance to make sure that everybody at the party gets what they deserve or what they were promised.
Well, I think that's going to lead to us telling everybody that we all need to be following you both, because
Yeah.
information that is coming up and ticket sales that are coming soon, and more to come, right? It's a ... situation here.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
especially
stay
for
tuned.
us. Yeah, we wake up and say, let's have a party. I mean, that's where we've grown to now. So if
Yeah.
we have this idea to have a party and, where someone else wants to share an idea with us, we'd love to make it happen.
Oh, well, we love parties too.
Well, get yourselves on the list. I think that you have already. So we'll make sure that you guys are
Able to
experience it. And if you're just visiting from where, New York, I imagine, you'll have to save the date once we get that out there.
We could do some interviews for you guys, for people.
Oh,
Yeah.
we love to have that.
Yeah.
On location.
On location.
There you go.
It's a lot, yeah.
It'll be fun, and then you can really experience it, firsthand.
Oh, yeah. The madness.
Okay, so tell everyone how they could find you so they could be following along.
You can follow us on our Instagrams, our business page, Ticket to Events, or personal, official Brian Kelly and Sean Koski with 2 eyes. Or our website, ticket2events.com. And then, we are continuing to do more press about our events, and, follow us along and search us in Google, I guess.
Yeah, Google search. That's the best.
I just want to thank you both for bringing such incredible creativity to the world, to all of us. And, absolutely this like surprise and delight aspect that I know that you are working on. And also this like trend, right? You are seeing trends way in advance. You're visionaries. And I just want to thank you and tell you that I appreciate all the work you've been doing. Colby and I both really appreciate you coming on today. We are following along every step of the way. We cannot wait for what is to come.
Wow.
We know that you have some tricks up your sleeves, and you do it so well in such a polished, sophisticated, welcoming way. So thank you.
Wow, thank you.
Thank
That was
you.
very, very sweet, and we appreciate
We
you guys
can't believe
inviting
people
us.
see what we do.
Yeah.
From
We're
behind the
still
scenes
shocked.
people, we're still shocked. I'm sure you can relate.
You shouldn't be. You know why? In today's world, people need people like you that are positive, uplifting, because there's such negative, but people look forward to your events. So, we're just watching it on Instagram and we're loving it. So I can't even imagine being there in person.
Me
Thank you.
neither.
Yeah. Yeah, we block it out.
It's all blacked out.
No, we slowly are enjoy it now, but yeah.
It's hard. You can't be at the event and enjoy the event. It's, why people who host events hire people like us. So imagine it just trickling down. Now we need to hire somebody.
Right.
Right.
But
right.
yeah.
We're
But we
looking.
appreciate you guys
Yeah.
having us on. This was awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
this
you.
is great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.